From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is a severe weather alert.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We're back here, 2:45. We're watching a possible developing tornado here that is near the Flatwoods community, and this will eventually work its way into parts of Lewis County. Again, this is that hook back here. We got an area of rotation, and let's go to that Hohenwald camera, Kelly or Chase, and this is the area that we're watching right here. It's a lowering that's getting a lot better organized, and just looking at it, there's a little bit of spin with it, but it's not really too tight right now, but it is definitely getting a lot better. So there's a chance that there could be a developing tornado here. Are you able to zoom out just a tad? I want to see the whole structure of this. Keep zooming out. Okay, that's good. That's good right here. It's still, the thing I question is how attached is that, because you get some clear or brighter sky right here, some brighter light. So that is, do we know where that Hohenwald camera is at?
I think it's.
If you go to the Hascam computer right there and go to the
location. Let me take a look here.
hit where the location's at. I'm curious on what side of Hohenwald this is at, but again, this is a lowering of some sort. Looks like a wall cloud, and there is a little bit of some spin with it that we've been noticing kind of coming and going.
Right in the middle of town.
It's right in the middle of town. All right, and this is pointed due southwest, correct? Okay, so let's go to OHX real quick. Let's go to the NexRad site, because it has a really good view on it, and it's got that shear skit on it now. And so this is that backside appendage, and you got a very nice hail core here. You've got some very significant hail that's potentially falling here right along Highway 412. This is to the west of Hohenwald as you make your way all the way up towards Linden. And this is just to the hail core is just to the north of Sweetwater, but it's this backside right here. What's the velocity on OHX look like? See if you can take you know how to take the shear off?
Yep.
Okay. Take that off. All right, so it is there. It is definitely looking at it, but looking at the camera, it's not, you might have to pan it a little bit. Let's see, Hohenwald's right here, so you might have to, I can't tell based on the camera over there if the storm itself, you need to look back to the more west, or
Blockage kind of back there.
yeah, you got the blockage right there. What does it look like? Swing it back to the left side.
Okay, yeah. And I'll throw you up here on
Yeah.
so you can get a better view of it. We're looking back kind of in the same direction we were. It's
Yeah.
kind of go up and down. You know how that cyclic sort of thing goes.
Yeah. It looks like what it was isn't really there anymore. I mean, there definitely was a wall cloud look. It had a little bit of rotation on it, but this almost now looks kind of more like a shelf cloud to an extent. Kelly, what do you think on it? I mean, it's
on velocity. It's kind of lining out to where it's looking a little bit less like a tighter rotation, and it's looking like you have your values a little bit more parallel.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's still a little bit too close for comfort. Obviously, we have mid-level rotation, like I said, with all of these storms. But I mean, based on what we're looking at on the SkyCam, it's looking a little bit more like a shelf cloud, which would be more indicative of some damaging winds versus a rotation.
Drew Richards is saying, Chase, that we need to hit the southwest preset on that.
Okay.
This actually might be looking northwest, he said.
Really?
Yep. So let's see if it swings around. Yeah, it was looking northwest.
It was looking a little more
so
north,
here's the backside of that
Okay.
storm then. That might be, I can't tell if that's the base or this is actually the base right here. Yeah, I can't tell on that. That actually, go back over here. It might be this.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a little further that way, kind of here-ish.
Yeah.
Because we're
That's
coming up
it
on
right
rain
here.
in Hohenwald.
Yeah. All right. So okay. Then this is your wall cloud right here, on that back side. That little bit of a lowering right in here. That's going to be where that rotation is. So if we can zoom in on this,
Sure thing. Stand by here.
Whatever is going on here, the storm is rotating, and it's starting to rotate a little bit better. So there still could be a developing tornado here.
Hey, Taylor.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and double box really quick, because while we're watching this, we'll be watching rotation in real time with our eyes. But let's go ahead and go back to OHX.
Yep.
Can we double box?
We're double
boxed.
Yeah, we are.
I just want to, we've got some very high reflectivity values just northwest of Hohenwald. So I'm getting a little bit concerned about some pretty large hail just west of the Kimmins community in northwest Lewis County, north of Highway 412. I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention.
Zoom in tight on that and go with go with Ville density.
Okay.
So the Ville density, and it's going to be lagged behind a little bit. Click on that bright spot right here. Yeah, that's some pretty good hail. That's close to 2-inch size hail potentially. So what this does is, so Ville vertically integrated liquid, so it's the amount of water basically that can get forced up through the updraft. The higher the number, the stronger the updraft, and the greater the hail potential is with this. And that's 2-inch hail right here on the Barron button. Again, it's a little lag behind. The hail core itself is now over here. So then we can go back to reflectivity, and that is intense, heavy rain and hail. If you live in Kimmins, I know it's raining right now. Well, you don't even have any opportunity at this point. The hail's getting on top of you right now with that last sweep. I was going to say, if you have your vehicle outside at all and you have a carport or garage, you can quickly move it in. I would do that right now. But right now, that hail is getting right into Kimmins. So if you live in Salem or Gordonsburg or Etna, you have a little bit of time here that, again, like I mentioned, if you can do it safely, I know it's raining, you got thunder and lightning off in the distance. If you can do it safely, go ahead and move your vehicle in a carport or in your garage if you're able to, because this is some pretty massive hail that could be coming your direction. And it looks like that's getting out of the warning polygon, Kelly. So the Weather Service in Nashville is going to have to do something here, because there's no, as far as I can tell, there's no other polygon over here.
Correct.
To the northeast of Hohenwald. So again, massive hail that is in the community of Kimmins. This is north of Hohenwald, so downtown Hohenwald, you will not be getting this massive hail potential, but you could be getting a potential tornado here shortly that we're watching. What's that on the Hohenwald camera on the bottom right? Is that a little bit of...
It's a little bit of scud.
Is that
kind of
scud?
rising
Okay.
into it? Yeah. Let me zoom out.
Yeah, zoom out on that, and I know we've got it double boxed on my side right here, so I can actually kind of look over here as well.
Yeah. So here's your broader feature.
Yeah.
Kind of looking back into that.
Okay. So there's still some rotation in that sky cam, but it's not overly tight yet. There's that new severe thunderstorm warning. So this includes northern Lewis County, and then it goes outside of Lewis County and includes the northwestern part of Murray County as well. This goes until 3:45. This does not include the city of Columbia, but includes the town of Bethel. It includes the community of Arkland, and just to the north of Mount Pleasant, right here on US 412 as you go towards Hohenwald. So again,
And Taylor,
this
does have a considerable tag on it for the hail.
for the hail. Yeah, so I think for
up to
them
2
that's
inches.
2 inches and higher.
Yep.
So yeah, that is a massive hail core right here. What does the velocity now look like on OHX? It's there, but you're getting a little side lobing right here, but there's still a little bit of rotation just to the east of Sweetwater. And again, we're still looking, the camera you see behind me on the right side on the double box, that is in downtown Hohenwald. That is pointed in that direction. So if there's anything that starts to develop tornadic wise, we're going to be able to see this live, and we're going to give you the best heads up that we can. The thing is, the way that these storms are going to be today is that if you get a tornado that develops, you're going to be able to see it like here on the camera, and we'll be able to see that in real time, so we can actually give you a little bit of a heads up when we start to see that happen. So this is a new storm track on the hail core with this. Etna and Salem within the next 3 to 4 minutes. That's when this hail core gets to you all. Maple Spring at 3:04, Williamsport at 3:16, along with Jones Valley, Arkland at 3:17, Gant at 3:19, Water Valley at 3:20, Popular Top at 3:21, Kinderhook and Santa Fe at 322 to 324, Bethel at 327, Columbia at 329, Craigfield 330, and Theta at 331.
And again, that storm
Yeah.
track is for the hail core specifically, not the area of broad rotation that we are watching. That storm track is for the hail core specifically, again, up to 2-inch size hail with this storm.
And are you seeing Drew's message over there, Chase?
My
Hit the West preset if you can.
West preset?
Well, hit the West preset, and he's talking about that hook. Let's go ahead. Let's remove the double box. Let's go ahead and just go
Yeah,
full.
I'll throw you up there.
Because this is
We're about
we're
to
going
be
to-
kind of right underneath it. So you know what?
Yeah.
It actually might behoove me to look up a little bit.
look up and see if you can just zoom all the way out. If you, I think it's still zoomed in a little bit.
Let me zoom out a bit. No, that seems to be our max zoom, so it's coming
That's the
right
max
over.
zoom, so it's coming right over. So we're going to start to lose resolution here as the rain starts to move on in. So yeah, you can't. I don't think you can move up and down because I tried on one of the other cameras there. They think these are stationary. You just kind of go. You can pan around. So this is heavy rain, maybe a little bit of some hail moving into downtown Hohenwald right now. There is a little bit of rotation with it. I'm watching some of this scud right here. If you start getting a lot of rising scud, that's moisture that's getting pulled off the ground and it condensates into a little bit of a cloud and it gets pulled up into the updraft. And I'm seeing it's trying to move in there, so that the updraft is probably right in here. So if you're going to get a possible tornado, it's going to be right in this center part of the camera. So it's going to be hard to see, but if there's anything on the ground with it being in a city, you're going to start getting some power flashes potentially. So with us not really being able to see what's going on right here, let's go back to a double box and put the reflectivity on behind me and zoom in right here into Hohenwald. I want to give a heads up that if we do end up having a tornado that develops pretty quickly here, zoom in just a little bit more. I want to see some of the little communities here. There we go, like Blondie on the west or the east side of Hohenwald. This is Schubert, that's right on the southwestern side of Hohenwald. You're going to be in that zone that if there is a possible tornado, it's going to be right on top of you right now. Hohenwald is going to be there in about maybe 2 to 3 minutes, if not there already with this with the next rad. Kind of lags behind a little bit. It's not a live sweep that comes through like we have with our live radar, but there is the latest sweep right here, and it does look like the circulation part's getting right on top of Hohenwald. Is the velocity still looking pretty good?
Let's check
I
it
say
out.
pretty good. Is it still there, I guess, in a sense? And there is still an area of rotation. It does look a little bit better. You have a lot more wind up here with the away, the wind's going back on the back side. That's going to be part of what's it's called the rear flank downdraft of the storm. That's what wraps back around on the back side, and you get the inflow right here coming into the storm. So this whole area right here is circulating. So anytime you start getting a little bit of a potential surge in the higher winds in this side of the circulation, that tells me that this is trying to wrap itself back around and could produce a tornado. I wouldn't say it's imminent right now, but it could be getting close to, if it's heading in that direction, it could be a matter of a handful of minutes. So again, we'll keep a close eye on what the velocity data is showing. It looks like the bulk of the circulation is now on the northeastern side of Hohenwald, just towards the Blondie community. It's right here along US 412. It's between Kimmins and 412. Salem, you would be next in line here with this potential area of circulation moving on in. But remember, the circulation is not what the warning is for. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. We're watching that potential for a developing tornado that looks like it's trying to get itself going potentially. So that's why we're still watching that hook, watching that backside. But we have some pretty significant hail that's right on top of Kimmins right now. It's moving into the Etna community, Salem, eventually Maple Spring, and we'll get close to, if not go over, the Natchez Trace Parkway here, close to the Maple Spring community, and then this will eventually work its way on off to the northeast and impact the western part of Murray County near Hampshire. Is that Hampshire? Hampshire community right here on 412, Arkland, and Santa Fe. This will likely stay to the northwest of downtown Columbia and the Columbia city limits. So if you live in Columbia, this should miss you to the northwest, but it's going to be very close. We're going to have to be watching things very carefully. And the thing with that area of circulation, it looks like the hook's getting a little bit less defined, but it looks like that RFD, Chase, if you want to chime in here real quick, it looks like the RFD on the back side is starting to surge. You see a little bit of that bowing right here.
Yeah, and that's right. I'm actually watching on a live radar too. We had to take it down real quick, but it's back up now.
It's back up. Let's go to our live radar.
Okay, and while I switch there, I will say that the Lewis County EMA and Fire reports quarter-size hail in Kimmins, and local police have confirmed rotating clouds over Hohenwald, which of course we've been seeing and we've been watching on our Arctic Air Skycam over in Hohenwald. So again, we are watching very carefully. We haven't seen anything overly concerning in terms of rotation, but we are still just watching it very closely because all it takes is a matter of minutes or even seconds. But again, hail is going to be the main concern with this current severe thunderstorm warning.
So let's go. So there's our live radar. So this will have a little bit of a better look at it, not only because it's closer, but with OHX, it has to go through the storm in order to see the backside. With this, we have no storm to get through. So you actually get a very clear view of that backside rotation. Still getting those pink shaded colors here on the color palette. That's high reflectivity value. So what that all it is the radar beam's going out. It hits something that's solid and bright, and it shoots back a high thing of energy, and the radar registers it as, hey, this is something that had a high reflectivity. It bounced back at extremely high intensity. So that shows the hail that is right here near the Salem community. And like Kelly said, there was a report of quarter-size hail from the, let me go back to that message if I can find it on my phone here, from the Lewis County EMA and Fire, quarter-size hail in Kimmins, and then the local police confirm a rotating clouds in Hohenwald. What's our velocity look on that? Go back to reflectivity real quick.
So that's kind of side lobe.
A little bit of side lobe,
yeah.
But it's in that general area. You can see that it's rotating. It's showing rotation with it, but it's not overly tight. And I think what's going on is, like I mentioned earlier, that RFD, that rear flank downdraft, looks like it's trying to surge around, and it's bowing that part of the storm out. So instead of getting a tornado, you end up getting damaging wind potential because of that. This ends up becoming like a little bit of a bow echo as opposed to an actual hook with a tornado with it. So I would think there's probably a little bit better potential of some localized damaging winds here on the east side of Hohenwald, right along US 412 as you head up towards Salem. The hail core right now that has the potential for considerable hail, that's upwards of 2 inches in diameter, is now moving out of Lewis County, and it's now into parts of, I believe that's Hickman County, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Parts of Hickman County near the Maple Spring area, but eventually this moves into the western part of Lewis County, which is back in our coverage area. So again, we're still watching things closely. The Hohenwald camera, I think at some point we can swing it around to see, now that the storm has now gone over Hohenwald, we can probably swing it back around. And while Chase does that, Kelly, why don't you take over real quick and see what other storms are going on out there, because I know we've been focusing on this. This is our only severe thunderstorm warning, but there's others out there.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just kind of reset what we've got going on right now. I'll go ahead and hit the DMA view on our radar, Live Viper radar network, and we are looking, again, most of us, and I say most of us, a large area of our viewing area is quiet right now. We are just focused on parts of Hardin County as well as parts of northern Wayne County as well as Lewis County, and then heading into parts of Murray County as well with that severe thunderstorm warning, and now expanding into Murray County. Everybody else, we are not forgetting about you. It is good news that we are not talking about your area and your location. We are just focused on these storms. And again, like I said earlier, these storms are going to be going over the same location. So once a storm moves out of your area, that does not mean you are done for the day. We are still watching multiple storms again, and all of these are rotating at least the mid-levels. We have yet to see some concerning lower level rotation, as we've been watching very diligently on our sky cams. But right now, this is the current radar situation. We also have a storm coming through McNairy County as well, heading towards Hardin County, and then that storm in northeastern Hardin County about to enter into northern Wayne County. So right now our severe thunderstorm warning is just for parts of Lewis County as well as parts of Murray County. Everybody else, you are relatively quiet, of course, aside from you folks in parts of McNary as well as Hardin and then northern Wayne. We are continuing to watch those, but those are not severe at this time. We are watching for the potential for some large hail with that storm. Again, the hail core looks to be mostly into Hickman County, but may clip far northern parts of Murray County. So again, this is your heads up if you are in northern Murray County that some considerable hail is on the way to you. Again, that's in southern Hickman County right now. Everybody else, you are either dry or your storms are not severe at this time.
Let's look at that cell before we go back into this one real quick. Let's take a look at this one. Oh, you're good. Take a look at this one right here, Chase.
Okay.
Do we have that on our live radar?
Yeah, it's actually just creeping into the range.
Just creeping in?
We should be able to see like the front edge of it.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Just looking at some of the radar sites, look at the velocity from OHX real quick. The GWX site from Columbus has a little bit of rotation on it. And there is a little bit of mid-level rotation. It's a small storm, but it's still rotating, so it's a mini supercell, and those can produce severe weather. Just because they're small, they can easily produce some damaging winds, some hail, and the chance at a tornado. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. So that's right over the Olive Hill area, and this is getting towards Clifton. And again, this is back behind that initial storm. Like Kelly said, these storms keep going over the same areas. You see these green boxes, the green polygon? That is flash flood warnings. Flash flooding could become a major risk today in the areas that see these storms go through. So just to add insult to injury, if we have tornadoes today, if we have large hail and damaging winds today and damage out there from these storms, then all of a sudden we could get flash flooding from these as well. So it's almost like a triple whammy in a sense that you could get tornadoes and then you can easily get some flooding as well.
So I tell you what, I put that up on
Yeah.
3. This is link 3. This is the Waynesboro camera, and I do want to mention those conditions are out of date. That's just a link.
Yeah, look at that tail cloud.
Yeah, we're looking back into that cell we were just talking about. So it does have a very robust structure to it
Yes.
here at the base of it, and I wanted to highlight that. You see inflow going into it, a rain-free base
It goes up and over, right? Yeah.
situated there. So I just wanted to mention that. We're keeping a close eye on it. We also have a very clear supercellular structure in this as well. We got a beaver tail, inflow tail there too. So we're watching this very carefully. We're pointing due west here on the Waynesboro camera.
So keep that real quick. So again, just what Chase was talking about. So this is it's what's called a beaver tail, and it's just inflow that's coming into the storm that starts to condensate. So you get winds that are coming in, and they start to rotate, and you see this kind of coming back over here. So that's your rotation. This is your mesocyclone. We've used that word all the time here when we're talking about supercells. The mesocyclone is not the tornado. The tornado is associated with it, but the mesocyclone is the heartbeat of a supercell. It's the actual rotation of the entirety of the updraft as it goes up. So you get the updraft that comes in, it starts to rotate, and then you get all this up back over here. You got the clearing on the backside, so the supercell itself is going up, and then it's curving back over here. So that's a fantastic look into this storm, and your wall cloud is going to be right in here. So if you're able to, at some point, Chase, I know you're looking over there with Kelly at some data, but when you get a chance, zoom in right here. Just want to see the bottom of the structure. And again, this is not severe, but seeing what it looks like, it can tell us, hey, how good is this storm going?
We're kind of blocked by that low-level cloud deck there, so we'll get behind that.
Yeah, you can see right here, low-level clouds are obscuring the base, but you see that tail going in, and that looks really good structure-wise. It does. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Let's go back to radar. Let's go back to radar. Again, that's looking back over here. It's not a severe storm yet, but would imagine that the Weather Service might issue a severe thunderstorm warning at some point. Let's quickly go back into this actual severe thunderstorm warning that we have, because now it's going to eventually get into parts of Murray County. And if it's not looking like there's a potential tornado or massive, that's still some massive hail right here. I don't see a tornado signature with it, but you're getting a little bit more hail potential now, again, just to the west of Maple Spring. and this is in Hickman County, but is eventually going to move into western Murray County. So Arkland, Santa Fe, Bethel, Hampshire, I think it's going to stay north of you. Jones Valley, this zone right here, that's where you're going to have your hail potential. And that was is that a shear skit that's on the, so that would be that possible area of rotation, that would have the tornado potential with it if it were to ramp back up again. But right now, it's really just surging out, so you end up having more damaging wind potential than an actual tornado with it. But still, on that back side, you're going to have some higher risk of some damaging winds. So Hampshire, Arkland, the west side of Columbia, that's where your situation might start to take place, where you end up getting a damaging wind threat as opposed to a hail risk on that. All right, with it 3:10, and we don't have an active tornado warning, and this is out of our viewing area, at least the severe part of that storm. It's getting out of our viewing area. We're going to take a quick break here. Let's back things out real quick. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll kind of just check things out on the behind-the-scenes side, and we'll come back, and if that hail core is still looking pretty substantial in Murray County, we'll be back on here to give you the latest information on that. Severe thunderstorm warning for Murray County. That's the one we're watching. We're also watching the supercell that's northwest of Waynesboro, and we're also watching cells that are just to the east of Selmer. They'll be moving into the Savannah area momentarily. For meteorologist Kelly Rawson and Chase Wilson, I'm meteorologist Taylor Plott. Thank you for sticking with us here at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Like I said, we're not going anywhere. We'll be back here shortly, and we're going to be keeping an eye on that cell that's moving into parts of Murray County. Until then, stay weather aware today, and we'll be right here watching things very carefully. We'll keep you advised.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.